Do you feel like a third-rate trainer with a fourth-rate team? Let me stop you there. Let's go over off-meta picks. I almost broke my ankle. I definitely just landed on my ankle wrong. What's going on, guys? It's Chance, aka Feelsdubisman, and just like Thomas Edison, we figured out lighting. Last video, I went over all the stuff that was considered early meta for Regulation D. This video, we're going to be going over things that I think are just good. We got a big list of Pokemon here that no one's really talking about. But before we get started, let's get a background set up. Shout out to the amazing Close Soup for this background. I'm super excited about it, and hopefully this should be the background going forward for all the videos. Minus 1 or 2 changes. You'll see those in the future. Now, if you watched my last video, A Beginner's Guide to Regulation D, you're probably stuck on Showdown playing the Urshifu Tornadus mirrors, or you're playing Trick Room getting beat by Urshifu and Tornadus. I'm gonna go over some off-meta picks that I think are just good going forward. So to get us started, I'm gonna be talking about Hisuian Goodra. Look at this little guy. Isn't he cute? You know what he also is? A wall. He's an absolute unit of a Pokemon. And at first, I thought it was just like a meme Pokemon, like, oh, he's like Appleton, you know, Iron Defense, Body Press. No, he's like a legit Pokemon. And shout out to Sticky, my team building partner, for telling me about it, because I thought it was just a meme at first. Then he showed me a Heavy Slam, Oko, a Fluttermane, and I was like, wait a second, this Pokemon, it's got some merit to it. Now, if you look at these Pokemon's base stats, it has an amazing, I forgot the base stats. So what I'm gonna do is check out my Google Doc over Regulation D that has the base stat totals of all the Pokemon coming in from home. Check it out. What do you call a cow that's laying down? Ground beef. Anyway, so here's the base stat totals for Hisuian Goodra. Straight from the Google Doc. Again, check it out. It'll help. But this Pokemon is just an impenetrable wall, basically. How I said a Mungus was the Urshifu counter before, this is like an Urshifu counter with Fluttermane mixed in. But throw a Rocky Helmet on it with Shell Armor, and I just don't think that Urshifu can get through it, especially with the Dragon Steel typing. Yes, I'm still standing behind the Rocky Helmet thing. Use Rocky Helmet. Just trust me on it. Just throw him on a team. He really doesn't need to be on any certain team. Just throw him in there. He's your tank. We have Hisuian Electrode, which what I can say about it is that it's the fastest Pokemon in the format that's not Regidrago. So there was that meme going around in like Reg C, maybe Series 2, that Dragapult was like, I'm the fastest Pokemon in the format. And then an Electrode like sped by it on screen. And he's like, second. And I just thought that was funny. So I'm just an Electrode lover. He gets Chloroblast. It's like a really strong move that halves his HP. It's like Steel Beam, but for grass types. So that's something. He's fast and they can like blow something up and then faint. I mean, worth a shot somewhere, right? Another like sneaky broken Pokemon, I think is going to be Hisuian Decidueye. Looking at the Pokemon's base stats, it's not like anything special, but its signature move, I think it can like lower the target's defense, flinch it, and it ups the crit rate. Like there's a high chance of all 3 of those things happening, and all 3 of those things can happen at the same time. It's just like Gambler's Paradise Pokemon. So if you like trying to high roll stuff, Hisuian Decidueye is the Pokemon for you. The new Typhlosion form is also pretty cool. I just personally like the Fire Ghost type, and then it gets that Infernal Parade move, which, you know, doing this video, I'm realizing I don't know a lot about the base damages of these Pokemon's moves. I just know about them. Like, I know just enough to get me by, but if you ask me to elaborate, I probably can't elaborate. So Infernal Parade is a 60 base power, 100% accuracy move that has a 30% chance to burn the target. And it's a ghost move. So those Terrifier Iron Hands that have been scaring you, those Terrifier Garchomps that have been scaring you, those Terrifier physical attackers that have been scaring you, you can still burn them 30% of the time. And now we get to the Pokemon that is the reason why I'm making this video, Hisuian Samurott. Last night I was legit building a team and I was like, I want to use a Pokemon that no one's using, but it isn't trash. The new ability on Hisuian Samurott is Sharpness, which increases all blade moves, or slashing moves, I guess, by 50%. 50% is a nice boost, but it's not like Life Orb or anything like that. But this Pokemon gets coverage, baby. I'm talking coverage. It gets Ceaseless Edge, which is a dark type move that gets boosted by Sharpness and sets up spikes. We get to set up hazards without wasting a turn, boys. It's our time to shine. But he also gets, you know, the classic moves like Sacred Sword and Aqua Jet. So he just gets all around good coverage. Personally, I'm going to check out Hisuian Samurott. You guys don't have to, but I'm going to be setting up these spikes. Hey, so I know last video, I had like a whole section about Weird Ear and how I was saying how good he was going to be. If some of you tried it, you probably know that it wasn't as good as I was making it out to be, and I apologize. This is my only apology. I do think the Pokemon's going to be good moving forward, but he's not as good as I like made him out to be. It was kind of a meme, but then I realized that I actually had people watch the video, and some of you might have tried it, so I do apologize. That is a genuine apology. But I think we can keep building around Weirdeer. It'll be good one day. So last video, I talked about Trick Room, and I forgot one key piece to the Trick Room team. Glastrier. Big slow horse, ice type. I know that it got technically nerfed because it can't be used with Calyrex right now, but it's still one of the slowest Pokemon, and it's still just super strong. It's also a tank. If you can set up snow around this Pokemon with something like Galarian Slowking with Chilly Reception, you are setting up a monster to just sweep the enemy team. So Trick Room players, Glastrier, put it on your radar. Speaking of Galarian Slowking, look how bulky this guy is, and he gets Regenerator. On a Trick Room setter, on a Snow setter. This dude is the setup king, and I don't think anyone's gonna use him for that. Use him as your Trick Room setter. Let me know how it goes. Trust me on it, please. Maybe don't trust me on it, because I did say trust me on it whenever it came to Weirdeer. Trust me at your own risk. We have Hisuian Arcanine. It's like Arcanine, but with a quad weakness, but it gets Rock Head, so recoil moves don't really hurt it. So Flare Blitz and Head Smash, that's a crazy combo. It's not great because it has a quad weakness, but I think it has a niche somewhere. Most of these Pokemon have niches. Let me put that out there for a fact. I'm talking about these Pokemon being good in their own niche. I'm not saying slap Hisuian Arcanine on any team with Rockhead and it's good all of a sudden. You got to find where it's useful. I realized I didn't really go into depth about a Namor's Therian last video. So here's the base stat total. It's basically a bulky attacker that has a low base speed, so it's just a good Trick Room Pokemon. I don't know if it's going to be a staple, but it is something that I've seen on a lot of Trick Room teams. So we also have, that's supposed to be a lot smoother, Fuecoco. But wait, it's not Fuecoco. It's Hisuian Zoroark. That's right. Illusion is back, and it's good, baby. I mean, it's good as it can be, because you do give away Hisuian Zoroark in team preview. But if you're playing ladder, Hisuian Zoroark. I've seen this thing disguised as a Flutter Mane. I've seen it disguised as a Urshifu. I've seen it disguised as a Goodra. Disguise it as whatever you want. Just give it a fighting type weakness or a ghost weakness or a normal weakness, and your opponent will just miss their move. Hisuian Zoroark is so busted, dude. It gets an immunity to fighting. It gets the immunity to ghost, immunity to normal. So it stops Ursaluna. Facade does not hit it. It stops Ursaluna. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying run it on every team. Please just try it. It's so fun. It is so fun throwing out a Flutter Mane, them trying to Shadow Ball it with something, and then they're like, wait, what? Why isn't the Flutter Mane dead? Though you really do need to like Choice Scarf it or Choice Specs it for it to be even like relevant. So it is what it is. You know, what's honestly crazy is that Regidrago gets like all the spotlight, but Regidrago didn't get nerfed because nobody used it in Sword and Shield. Dragon's Maw is basically just a choice specs on any of your dragon type moves. It's what Transistor was before it got nerfed. The reason that Alecki was so busted is still on Regidrago. Throw a choice scarf on it, put a support Pokemon next to it. It'll outspeed everything and can probably one-shot anything that's not a fairy type. That's a Pokemon. It's definitely a Pokemon. And last but not least, I'm gonna leave you guys with something to think about. One of the most Pokemon of all time. Hisuian Lilligant. If you have played VGC this season, you know that Lillicol is just strong. Chlorophyll, Lilligant, Sleep Powder, anything while it's next to a Torkoal. Torkoal erupts. You probably wipe out the enemy team. Pretty good, right? Now imagine if that Lilligant was an offensive pressure too. Not just Leaf Storm. No. Hisuian Lilligant gets stabbed close combat. Instead of sleep powdering your opponent turn one, you could just close combat it in the face and probably knock it out. Gives you a little bit of variety to a team that was already winning regionals. So Hisuian Lilligant, don't sleep on it. Get it? Sleep on it because sleep powder. Anyways, that's all I have today, y'all. Thanks for watching. As per usual, if there's anything you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments, shoot it to me over on Twitter. Let me know. I want to talk about what you guys want to hear. I want to have conversations. I want to help y'all grow as Pokemon players. So let's talk. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go check out the Pelican conspiracy, keeping Politoed out of Paldea. Y'all take it easy. Have a good one. So anyway, here's Wonderwall. Today